Hey guys, MurphGuy1000 here. Today I'd like to talk about something that's slightly x-saber related, but just not as x-saber related. And this video is going to be about how to become a better Yu-Gi-Oh player, because in the past, and I'm sure that everyone has experienced a stage at one point or another. Like we've all been bad people when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh. Like we misplay our cards. We make a suboptimal play. We don't know how our deck works. We don't know rulings, etc., etc. But as you play more and more of the game, and even as you get older, you start to become better at Yu-Gi-Oh. And along the way, when I was just kind of being a scrub, I noticed a few things that I could do in order to become a better person, better duelist, and just like a better Yu-Gi-Oh player. So I'm gonna share some of my experiences with you as to things that I noticed as I was getting better at the game, and yeah, that's kind of where we're gonna start from. So one thing that at least start with is asking your opponent target. Now what I mean by that is, let's say your opponent activates Call the Haunted, and they're like, okay, I'm going to target, hold on a second, I'm gonna target, I don't know, say this x-saber Fulham Knight from my graveyard with Call the Haunted. And let's just say you happen to be holding a DD Crow in your hand. Now, people, like a person who doesn't know to ask target might just randomly banish, I don't know, some other monster. Like, let's say a Dark Soul is also in here. They might be like, oh, I'm gonna banish the Dark Soul because I don't want you to search off like a potential synchro play. What you really should be doing is asking your opponent when they activate Call the Haunted, target, and then they're like, okay, I'll target Fulham Knight, and then you drop the DD Crow from your hand and you banish the Fulham Knight. And what that does is that it makes the Call the Haunted dead because they lost their target, and it kind of like avoids helps you avoid like game states that you would be able to prevent, but you wouldn't know how to prevent because you don't ask your opponent what their target is when they try to special summon with like Call the Haunted or even Soul Charge, to be honest with you. Like, I know people don't do this often, but say like you really need the Soul Charge to resolve, like for all your monsters, like if you banish one with like DD Crow from one of the targeted monsters, and it's like the most important monster, like let's say I'm bringing back like Fulham Knight, that, and like Curry Bandit, and I really need the tuner because, like, I don't know, randomly I want to go Invoker, use effect, and then make a Souza or something. I don't know, but yeah, just like always ask your opponent what they target, so then you can so you know what they want to get rid of, and from there you can play around that or use one of your backers to stop that. Now, another thing that I want to discuss is people misplaying Soul Charge. Now what I mean by that is that, let's say like you have like, I don't know, 4,100 life points, and your opponent's playing, I don't know, Boojins, and you're playing Mermails, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna Soul Charge for a Teus in my grave, a Tidal in my grave, a Pike, and I don't know, like a Lind. Okay, that's great. So you get all those 4 monsters, and you're down to 100 life points. Now the thing is, Cowboy exists. So does Heartland Draco, but I don't have a copy of it, so you have to pretend that it exists. Unless you have an out to the Gaga Cowboy, you should not be soul charging more than like 3 monsters. And unless you have an out to like Heartland Draco, you should not be soul charging more than 2 monsters because you're going to die from one of them. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. If you shouldn't be soul charging more than 4 monsters, because if you soul charge 3, you'll be at 1,100 and you'll be okay. Like, let's say you have one of these set, either Deep Prison or Mirror Force, then yes, you potentially can soul charge for more than 2 monsters because you have an art to Heartland Draco. And if you have Blackhorn set, like, you shouldn't be afraid. You just go off, whatever, do it, whatever the hell you want. But there are random people who I play online who actually do lose because they soul charge too much, and then they lose to like a Cowboy or like a Heartland Draco. And those are game states that are really easily prevented, and it's really sad because it just means you're throwing the game, like, something that you could have won, but you're just, like, you know, losing it because of your own carelessness. So just keep that in mind when you're using soul charge. Please do not misplay this card. There's a reason why Konami did not touch this in the Forbidden Limited list, because it is, like, a lot of people won't agree, but in my opinion and in some other people's opinions, this card is actually balanced. I know it got a lot of hubbub when it came out, and that people were like, "Oh, soul charge is gonna break the format and the game," and but like, after people started using it, like, they realized it actually wasn't that bad. Yeah, I'm kind of saying that. Now, third thing I want to discuss is misplaying your macro, or like just not timing it properly. Like, for example, let's say you have this thing set, and you have this thing set. Now, I know most of you aren't dumb, but there are, like, there is that one random scrub who will activate Torrential Tribute on one monster. Why would you not activate Fiendish Chain? Like, please, why would you not activate Fiendish Chain? Unless, like, you really need the monster off the field for some reason, then yeah, okay, you can waste your Torrential and do the 1-for-1. But, I've read articles, and there's a point that was made, I forgot who wrote it, but, if anyone out there remembers, just, like, just tell me down below in, like, the comments, so I can give them credit. But, I remember someone once told me, or I once read, you activate Torrential Tribute at the latest moment. Now, this is because, you don't want to activate Torrential Tribute any earlier than you want to. You always want to plus as much as you can off Torrential Tribute. And that's quite obvious because it's such a strong card, and you don't want to, you know, just make it a 1-for-1. And you only have one. It's not, like Torrential's not at 2. It used to be at 2, it's not anymore. So, like, yeah, like, you should use Fiendish Chain in most scenarios. And another thing I want to discuss is this card, Book of Moon. Now, let's say you have these three set, and let's say your opponent summons, like, Brotherhood of the Farfetch'd Bear, and they swing. Instead of using the Fiendish Chain, which you have, you decide to use Book instead. Now, unless you're playing, like, some deck that can benefit off of killing set monsters, for example, like, let's say your deck plays something that uses Fulham Knight, you should not be activating Book. And here's why. Hold on just a sec. Here's this card, Trap Stun. Now, Trap Stun is a real card. It is, like, a great card. Sorry, why did I say real? It's a great card. People play it all the time. Another card that also sees play is Wiretap. And if you use this for starters, one, you get a bait out Wiretap, and secondly, you also get a bait out Trap Stun. And if it's really not that big of a deal, like, you have no reason to use this, because this can't be stopped by Trap Stun, can't be stopped by Wiretap, and it's really one of the only reasons outside of its synergy with Fulham Knight, why I play it in X-sabers. Yeah, so that's why I always saved my Book of Moon unless I really, like, desperately need to use it. Like, if I need to stop like an attack, or else I'm gonna die, and I don't have this set or something. But just remember that Book of Moon, just like its ability to not be stopped by Trap Stun and Wiretap, and 7 tools if you're a Yugioh player, because I know some people who still play that. Just remember that Book of Moon is good because it can't be stopped by those cards, and you should be saving this for as long as you can, just because it's not good. And lastly, and this goes without saying, but please do know your deck. Let me say that again. Please do know your deck. Unless you're playtesting a deck, if you go to, like, an event, you should know your deck virtually inside out. Like, I've been playing X-sabers for maybe 5 years now, and contrary to what most people believe, it's not just a pick up and play deck. It's not spam Hyunlei to pop aggro. Like, a lot of people get drawn to this deck because they like Hyunlei, because it's just so fucking good. And I mean, I really cannot blame them. Like, after Heavy Storm was banned, this is probably one of the best back row moving cards in the game. And, like, outside of maybe, like, Judgment Dragon, but, hey. Like, this thing baits out so much back row, it's unrealistic. So, yeah. Like, you really just need to know your deck inside out if you're planning to go to, like, a tournament and actually, like, top, or if your goals are set really high, even to win. Like, also, just like, do your research online, or just come up with stuff yourself. Like, I'm not saying I came up with the M7 combo, because I'm pretty sure someone developed it before I did, but there are so many x-saber players who don't know about this combo, and if you need a reminder as to what this is, there's a video, I uploaded a video about it, and you guys can just go watch it if you want. But, yeah, like, just know your deck inside out. Know, like, specific rulings, like, I don't know, like, let's say, okay, this is really stupid, but, like, Fall Troll versus DD Crow. If I target, like, a monster with Fall Troll, and my opponent DD Crows it, does it get special summoned? Of course it doesn't, but, I mean, just like, know, like, intricate rulings, know ways that you could possibly get cheated. Oh, this is another thing. A lot of, like, I went to a regionals once, and, my opponent thought that you couldn't return the detached material, by M7, so, I mean, I called a judge. The judge, ruled in his favor, and since I knew the ruling, I appealed. And the head judge didn't know the ruling, but then, luckily, a guy, who was watching my duel, he came beside me and he said, no, the guy can detach a material and return it to his hand, which is really important because you need, like, the Fault Troll Wombo combo, the M7 Wombo combo, I don't even know, just give it a name, to go off. Like, if you don't get to return the detached material to your hand, like, the combo's dead. This is why I play the card, because it enables so many OTKs that originally were not possible. Just don't get cheated because you don't know your rulings, or you just don't know your deck. And always, and like, you should know your deck to the point where you always make the best play. Hobin, yeah, I know, I hate saying his name, because, I don't know, I just don't like the guy that much, but, Hobin has really good theory when it comes to this, where it comes to, like, making the best play, and if you want, just check out some of his articles on ARG, like, there are good articles, well, most of them anyways, some of them are kind of bullshit, but who cares. The article where he talked about, like, making the best play, or versus making the correct play, like, those are, good articles, in my opinion, and they'll also help you become a better duelist. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something by watching this video, about how to be a better player. So yeah, I will probably start making more videos. Yeah, I know, I promise a lot, but I don't deliver, much like the government, I'm sorry. But, since, I'm almost done summer school, I should be uploading more videos by the next 2 weeks, so please do stay tuned. That's enough for me. This is Morph Guy 1000 signing out. Peace out, YouTube.